I'm here right now with the chairman and CEO of Hann Resorts, Daesik Han. Thank you very much for being here with me. We're here at the ASEAN Gaming Summit. It's obviously a very exciting time, but as we saw from your talk earlier, it's very, very exciting for Hann Resorts. So I wanted to ask, Hann Resorts already has the Hann Casino Resort, which has been very, very successful. The next major project is the Hann Reserve. How can Hann leverage the synergy between Hann Casino Resort and Hann Reserve?
Okay. First, I think the most important thing is timing, because I acquired this 450-hectare property for Hann Reserve year 2019, but because of COVID, everything went kind of slow. Mm-hmm. And because of this very challenging terrain there, it would take time for me to build infrastructure, all of this road network and everything. Mm-hmm. That's why, based on my study, the fastest year that I can have this casino in Hann Reserve is going to be like realistically something like year 2028 or 2029. But right now I have Hann Casino. Mm-hmm. So that's why my plan is to build all of different facilities, for instance, like golf and then different like entertainment stuff at Hann Reserve. Mm-hmm. And then, by the way, I'm planning to expand Hann Casino right now because the feedback from the market is kind of fantastic. That's why our operation team feel that casino is getting somehow smaller and smaller.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, so that's why I plan to have this expansion of casino, which will add something like 500 to 600 slot machines, maybe more or less additional 100 tables in 3 years. Okay. So in 3 years of time, while I'm developing this Hann Reserve, different like supporting facilities, then my casino, I'll be having more of this, more gaming capacity there. So this supporting facility from Hann Reserve will support, definitely. That's one thing, because of this timing, the development and timing. The other one is, I really want to make this Hann Reserve as a really like very luxury, like integrated resort. And right now, but everything, again, the timing is very important. Right now, Clark Market is being spotlighted lately because of these different infrastructures and then especially airport. But still, it will take time for like a nearby area to be kind of fully developed. Yeah. That's why I want to make sure to maximize Hann Casino right now, and then later, when Hann Reserve is done, it's going to be. It will widen the market, not only in Metro Manila, but also a different destination from Clark Airport, mm-hmm. to provide a luxury gaming experience, entertainment experience from Hann Reserve. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw recently that you secured another 166 million in loans. How much is the Hann Reserve project estimated to cost?
Right now, I should say ballpark number is something like $3 to $4 billion over maybe 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I see.
Is all of the financing already secured, or does that have to be done in the tranches as development progresses?
First, we're making this amount of money from operation, and then plus, like as I mentioned, like last week I secured this 9 billion pesos of loan. That will be the first. That will be the loan for the first phase. Mm-hmm. And then again, every time we're adding more facilities in Hann Casino and we're expanding. So over years, I'm pretty confident that we can support this investment with our the fund from our operation. And then we are having pretty strong support from financial sector in the Philippines. Plus, the other one is I'm thinking of having IPO with gaming company and then the REIT, mm-hmm. because our hotel has been performing very, very good. We're running something like higher than 90% of occupancy. So that is a way of different ways of funding this project.
Mm-hmm. What type of time frame are you looking at for the IPO? Is now an ideal time? Would it be a couple of years?
I think the most important thing is multiple, which is tied up with interest, right? So, but always up. When there's up, there's a down, right? So now interest rate is moving slowly up, but because of this concern from this banks from US, from Europe, it's always is kind of pretty tricky to speculate. But a lot of people, they see that toward the end of the year, it's going to be stabilized and then it goes down. So I'm thinking of maybe 1 or 2 years from now on. I need to see how this interest rate moves, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, you mentioned that you did have great occupancy. You know, the Hann Casino Resort has been performing very well, even as other competitors within the market weren't reaching the same levels you are. I wanted to ask, how important is the higher end play to the bottom line?
Yeah, higher end players, they're very important, but kind of the tricky part is I don't think it is only by Chinese government to try to somehow tighten the scrutiny on these high rollers, but also all of this government, that's what they're doing. So it's pretty tricky, especially like transfer money, like borderline, across the board. I think that's very, very tricky. So from the beginning, because the clung market was not that big enough to draw attention from these big junket players. That's why I had to focus on how to improve my mass VIPs. So that's what I've done, and then our performance is pretty healthy in a way that the contribution from this junket is kind of limited right now. And definitely that's the way to go by adding more different supporting facilities, right? I'm not saying this junket or VIP players which used to dominate the market in Macau are not important, but because of this government regulation, I think as time goes by, it's going to be more and more tricky. Yeah, so we are really focusing on how to develop this mass VIP, which we have been successfully doing.
And you get higher margins as well.
Definitely.
Speaking about the Hann Reserve, you've called it before a millionaire's playground.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? And what does that mean as having the first mover advantage? What will your competitors have to face then after?
So far I have invested something like $600 million in Hann Casino. I know that number of big players they have studied if it's feasible to step into clung market after they somehow saw my numbers. But the thing is, they realized that in order to compete with me, they have to really spend more than $1 billion. And then now, when we talk about the clung market, is not as big as that of Metro Manila. So if they spend $1 billion and then split the market, it's going to be a big concern. But what I've done is I started small and I keep on reinvesting. Plus, if somebody step in and then maybe it will take a year or something to secure the property, and 2 years of design stage, maybe 3 to 4 years of development, so only is going to be 5 to 6 years. What's going to happen to Hann Reserve 5 or 6 years from now on? It's going to be somehow very well developed and it's shaped up. And then it's going to be more difficult for them to compete with me. That's why always spending certain amount of money today is going to be much worth than spending same amount of money in the future. So I'm not very concerned about competition in clung market as far as clung market is concerned. I'm more of, and then the thing is there are some things that you cannot control in your life. There are some things that you can control. So how can I control that if somebody wants to step in? I cannot control, right? But what I can control is I make my product different. I make my product unique from somebody else's, so that they will draw attention, more attention from the market. That's what I've been doing.
Well, I mean, with the expansion project of the Hann Casino Resort and with the Hann Reserve, you have your hands full with things to do.
Yeah.
Are you looking at other markets though?
Yeah, given the opportunity, yeah, sure. But right now, especially let's say from now on, something like more or less 2 years from now on, I think that is very critical for the success of Hann Reserve, because I have a lot of components there to lead to the success, but I have to make sure everything will be somehow mixed well together, and then all of circulation, and then there are certain facilities which should not be together. There are certain facilities which has to be together. So I have to analyze all the different stuff in 2 years and then set up all of the structure. And then after that, that's the time probably while I'm somehow developing the rest of the component of the project. That's the time probably I will look into different areas if given a chance.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing the growth and seeing what can happen.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me here.
Cheers.
Thank you.